So, Judd, I've spent the morning with you here in Sheridan County, up in Rushville, Nebraska. If you don't mind just kind of telling me like what, your operation consists of and just, family history in a sense.
Yeah, my wife and I both graduated college and came back here in 1999, and we kind of evolved into a registered Angus seed stock operation. Kind of, 25 years of kind of burning the candle at both ends. Both of us had off-farm jobs all the way to get where we are here today.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you said that, were telling me earlier, kind of like more family history, that, you're a, what, fifth, sixth generation? Is that correct?
Yeah, Sheridan County right here is in Nebraska. All four of my great grandfathers ranched in Sheridan County, so I've got real strong ties to this area right here.
Gotcha. And you run an Angus, purebred Angus operation, and what kind of like um, ways do you promote that? Because you have a bull sale, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. We're lucky because we're in an area where there's lots of cow calf operations, people that do it for a living. So we're real area focused on our marketing. Just try to raise cattle that are right for this area right here. Um, and it's like I said, over 25 years, it's kind of evolved. You start out 20 years ago selling 10, 15 bulls, and now we're up to, we'll market over 100 bulls this year at our bull sale. So
And when is your bull sale by chance?
into February.
End of February. Got it. Um, so obviously I'm with Nebraska Farmers Network, and what I guess you can elaborate why you thought, why join, why become a member.
Well, I think that uh, we've got an issue with young people coming back to agriculture, right? And we've talked about a lot of the obstacles that they face and the reasons why they're not coming back. And um, um, I see Farmers Network as being uh, somebody that's stepping up and trying to do something about it. And it's not just Nebraska; it's the entire nation that's got an issue with trying to get young people back here. And I think it's crucial for not only agriculture but for the food supply of the United States. Um, a proactive approach is going to be a lot better than a reactive approach.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess what made you just like, what about it was so innovative that you're like, yeah, I need to invest, I need to become part of this network.
Um, yeah, again, like I said, young people not being able to come back, and you've got a lot of older farmers and ranchers that got to do something with their land, right?
Yeah.
And we see the corporate world, billionaire investors, and buying a majority, if not, darn near all the land that comes up for sale, and Nebraska Farmers Network has a solution. And I think that I'm excited about the concept of people that want to sell and want to keep it in local producers' hands, young people's hands, and Farmers Network is got a plan to help both the seller and the young people that want to get into this industry.
Gotcha, gotcha. So some more hard-hitting questions, I guess, just kind of about the cattle industry in a sense, is what is your take on the whole government mandating EIDs? I have a very strong opinion about that, so
Yeah.
I like getting different opinions about things.
Yeah. It is just something. You ask why. I mean, with all these other issues that we're facing that are so much more important, why this? And it just and of course we're all pretty independent and strong and independent, right? And we don't like anybody forcing anything upon us. And I don't think, like I said, there's other issues that would be better served for us and the entire nation rather than that, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. I guess another question is, why do you think we're seeing such a decline in cow-calf production? instead of people are wanting to run yearlings more, or they're not wanting to keep the females and keep genetics going, because at the end of the day you got to have the maternal genetics in a sense. Kind of, I mean, and also like in the Angus industry, how do you feel that they kind of bred cows to be a lot more, paternal looking, kind of more, instead of keeping the maternal genetics there, that we
Yeah.
see a struggle with a lot of production.
Yeah,
With that.
a couple issues there that we could probably talk about for a long time. I think the first part of your question, talking about the future of genetics and just the beef industry in general, and cow numbers being down.
Mm-hmm.
We got high prices right now and not high profits, and that's something that like Joe Goggins talked about last year
Mm-hmm.
in one of his interviews that I think is really relevant. Even though we've got high cattle prices, there's not high profit margins. Everything costs a lot, including land prices, right?
Yeah.
And it takes profit to expand and to give people incentive to come back to do it. And there's a labor shortage, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we know that the people that are out there doing the day to day in this ranching world are getting older, and it's a labor intense job calving cows.
Yep.
So, and as far as the youth, the capital requirements that it takes to get back into this thing, and the opportunities just ain't there. And again, it goes back to your profit, right? It's a lot of hard work just to break even, or at best, right?
Yep. Yep. Another question is, so I like to ask this question just to get more incentive. Just the members I talk to is what what part of the year, like calving and weaning, like what part of the year you just go, man, I made it. Like, what is your favorite part? Is it like the calving? Is it branding? Going all the branding, seeing neighbors, just that kind of gist.
I love it all when it starts, and by the
Yeah.
time it's done, I'm sick of it, right? Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the reality. But the one thing about raising cattle is that you don't do the same thing too long. Calving season's down in the tents. We calve in February in the middle of winter, and so we've got 60 days there that are damn tough. And then you kind of go into the, your branding breeding season that you talk about, and that's you get the horses out again and start working cows and getting and watching the calves grow and starting to plan your genetics for the future, and so you look forward to that. And by the time you're done AIing and getting things to grass, you're ready for that too, right? And then we kind of transition into the haying season, and it's I don't mind putting up hay, but
Long hours.
yeah, 90 days of working hard again, and
Yeah.
and you're glad when all the hay's in the stack yard, and then it's right back into weaning, so I'm always excited with our purebred stuff to get the data to see who the good cows are, and and the ones that aren't, but it's to me it's real seasonal. All of it's hard work, but you look forward to all of it, and by the time it's you get to the end, you're ready to do something different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I guess with being registered, like, what is the complications in a sense? Like, 'cause you have to, have everything certified through the Angus Association. Just, maybe giving a glimpse more of that too.
Well, you should try to measure everything, right? Yeah, I mean, you really can't manage what you don't measure. So you work those cows a lot more, and keep really good records. Birth weights, weighing every calf when they're born, weaning weights, yearling weights, ultrasound for carcass information. It's just, and you've got data on every single cow, their production records, bulls, how their daughters are doing. So it's just a lot of data, and it's just keeping track of it as much as you can to try to make improvement.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that kind of consists of what I needed to ask you. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet.